Ahan Salan. My name is Zamnik, and I see you requested a quick primer on the plane of Amonkhet. Amonkhet is a fascinating plane that is presently recovering from an apocalyptic event within the last century. It is a desert plane possessing two suns, with manifested physical deities interacting directly with their mortal worshippers while awaiting the return of an over-deity which they have dubbed the God Pharaoh. On the subject of the dual suns, the primary and much larger orange sun moves steadily across the plane's horizon in a normal 24-hour period. However, the second sun is almost fixated in a singular place, barely moving within a mouse time. This is due to the second sun being an artificially created sphere of fire placed in the sky by the god Pharaoh to herald his return. Slowly, the second sun will move across the sky until it eventually rests between the horns of the god Pharaoh monument, set directly outside the city of Noctimoon, at which point the overdeity of Amonkhet is expected to return. Sadly, the second sun's omnipresent state induces a nearly constant daytime upon Amonkhet, with a 12-hour day span, then 3 hours of dusk, followed by 3 hours of dawn. Once the first sun is set, long streaks of brilliant purples and gorgeous blues fill the sky, to be immediately followed by streaks of orange and red as the first sun returns. Due to the presence of the dual suns, Amonkhet is an abnormally hot plane. At the first sun zeniths, the wastes can be expected to reach a 130 degrees temperature within Fahrenheit. This is abnormally high heat has caused the majority of the plane to become a vast desert known as the wastes. Within the waste dwell ruins from the previously mentioned apocalyptic event that precedes the protection of the god Pharaoh. These ruins sink into the fresh dunes only to later be revealed by the catastrophic sandstorms that ripple across the plain. Massive burrowing worms stalk the landscape of Amonkhet, driven into a near constant hunger frenzy by the scarcity of food, sometimes creating massive convergences of sandworms when fresh prey is found. These titanic creatures are extremely deadly and a main threat within the wastes. Due to a unique quirk of the plane, any creature that has died will rise back from the grave to stalk the land until all flesh has been shorn from the rotting flame. After the previously mentioned apocalyptic event, the wastes are infested with millions of undead that lay half-buried, awaiting prey to unleash their jealous rage upon. Somewhere, uncharted by the inhabitants of Amonkhet, is a nest of demons in the wastes known as Ifnir. This hive of monstrous creatures sits like a blighted pit of misery within the wastes. Sometimes, the angels of the god Pharaoh will take dissenters to Ifnir to be attacked and destroyed by the demons that reside within, only to have them resurrected and shorn again and again until they are skeletized by the demons within. However, for the planar traveler such as yourself, there is shelter to be found on Amonkhet in the form of the city of Noctimoon. This city was built on the shore of the mighty Luxor River and is protected by the Hekma. The Hekma is a massive shield-like enchantment that covers the city in a dome, keeping out the ravages of the wastes such as the undead hordes and sandstorms, while allowing the city to remain a human 90 degrees at most by filtering out the light from the dual suns. Within the protected city are the primary gods of Amonkhet, each with a district within the city dedicated to them. The gods walk among the people of Noctimoon, titanic beings bearing a vaguely humanoid appearance with the exception of their heads. Each radiates an aura that communicates the domain they oversee. First and chief amongst them is the daughter of the god Pharaoh, Hazaret, the Fervent. With a golden jackal-like head, she is the goddess of battle and zealotry. Next is Bantu, the alligator goddess and queen of ambition, Oketra, the cat-headed goddess of solidarity, Kefnet, the wing-headed ibis god of knowledge, and Ronas, the strongest of the gods with a cobra-like head. The gods remain in the city to test the people of Noctimoon in order to prepare them for the return of the god Pharaoh. Life in Noctimoon is that of community. People fall into two categories: initiates, who undertake the trials for the gods, and viziers, who administer the trials and serve the gods. All work not dedicated to the trials is undertaken by the dead. These anointed are mummified undead that are magically compelled into holy service. Any required food making, weapons crafting, or any menial labor is undertaken by the anointed without cost to anyone residing within Noctimoon, as they are expected to be undertaking the holy duty of the gods. Nearly all anointed are from those killed while undertaking the trials, but failed to finish them. The trials are a series of 5 events, each overseen by a god, undertaken by the initiates in the form of crops. Each crop is a group of 12 or more people who have been training since childhood to undertake these trials. The ultimate reward is to be slain by Hazaret during the last trial, entombed with mummification and special rites, and then sent into the gates of the dead to await the God Pharaoh's return, where he will resurrect them as the worthy. It is believed that upon the God Pharaoh's return, he will banish all death and return the worthy to immortal life. Most citizens of Noctimoon are members of crops that they have lived with their entire lives, guided by the viziers and the anointed in their training. Although while undertaking these trials, some crops may be combined to increase the odds of them passing to the final trial. A discerning visitor to the plane will notice that there are no citizens in Noctimoon over the age of 40. This is due to the apocalyptic event mentioned previously that occurred before the God Pharaoh's protection. There are 5 majority races within Noctimoon. They are as follows. The powerful Minotaurs. Unique to this plane due to their ram-headed forms, these bulky titans are often seeking glory in combat. The Jackal folk, known as the Kenra, are a group of black-furred anthropomorphic jackals that are usually born in sets of twins. This plane is host to 2 unique avianoid species, the hawk-headed avens and the ibis-headed avens. As is common with most realms, humans are a staple race of Noctimoon, and are one of the most prevalent in population, often having olive to obsidian skin. The final majority race of Amonkhet are the Naga, large serpentine warriors with humanoid upper torsos and sets of arms. While most appear in the cobra variety, there are subspecies such as the viper and sidewinder variety. There are other sentient races on Amonkhet, such as the angels that serve the God Pharaoh and the mute sphinxes, but they are small in number and rarely interact with planar visitors. While that should be a fine basic primer for Amonkhet, please join us next time when we will be going over the trials themselves that the initiates undertake. I hope to see you again soon, and please let me know if there is any more information you desire from the planar guide.